Begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
Lil Durk's real name is Durk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night.
Lil Durk was just snitched on by his best friend Vonnie, making him guilty in his court case. It was revealed that Chicago rapper Lil Durk's sister Anna called Vonnie a rat and snitch in the murder for hire Fed case via an IG post. In court today, his file was updated, showing he's no longer in Bureau of Prisons custody. This means he was released from jail, likely on house arrest, where he then got his hands on a new iPhone. He texted someone he thought was close, but that person flipped on Vonnie, leaking all the messages. Vonnie texted who he believed was a friend. Yeah, and I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base for murder for hire, is 43, which is life. I'd get -2 for the plea, -1 for early plea, and -2 for no background. That would leave me with 27 points, which is just 5 to 7 years. Better than that. I can't go to trial. I might get an elbow. I don't want them to do me like the others. When saying that, he meant Jam, who also snitched. But more on him later. Still, Vonnie's father is furious. His son went federal. It was tweeted Vonnie allegedly planned the Lilab and King Von passing.
No, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on tablet. He on the jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they plan. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
Oh, that's what you meant by trenches and paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages. Like,
yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
No, that's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that. And with me saying Bond, some people like, man, what, he gonna turn on some birds on Bond?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I was free to know what the Bond name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated a little bit. You orchestrated it, and guess who you work for?
Otavon's father comes from a street code where if someone snitches, you can snitch back, and he didn't hold back. But I do have the reason why Vonnie told, and let me explain. Ferk, Vonnie, and Dee. Vonnie and Dee are blood, which matters. Here, as new body cam footage just dropped, showing Lil Ted begging to snitch on Lil Durk and F members changing the case completely. Durk's lawyer submitted paperwork asking for more time on their bond proposal. This brings up the question, what did Lil Ted really tell the feds? Lil Ted is known as Dee's little brother, Durk's Main Street guy, and is also Vonnie's cousin. He got arrested at a neighborhood store with a gun in his jeans pocket hand. He did not want to sit in jail.
Dude had it. What about that? The man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
At that moment, Lil Ted was taken to the police station, but before even stepping inside, tears were already rolling down his face as he shouted to the officers, "I swear I'll tell y'all about the passings." He was desperate to avoid going to jail, but by then it was already too late for him.
Come on. Hey, stop it.
While sitting in the holding cell, Lil Ted was seen crying uncontrollably, wanting nothing more than to snitch on every team member he knew just to go home and escape jail. Keep in mind, he's related to Vonnie and Dee, both of whom know the same information Lil Ted does.
Wait, hold on. You got I can't understand it. What's what you're saying, man? You gotta relax. Come on, relax. I'm trying to get that.
With Dee being his older brother, when news broke of someone snitching in court, the files only showed the last name, so everyone assumed it was Dee. But in truth, it was his brother. Still, this created a domino effect, with Ted already trying to flip on Durk. There's a strong chance the feds sat Dee, Vonnie, and both their parents down together. letting their moms pressure them to snitch instead of wasting their lives in prison, a tactic the feds often use. Says they're all related, 3 against 1 being Lil Durk means Durk loses every time. But there's a reason they're flipping so quickly. Lil Durk is close to being released. To understand the timing, it's key to know that word from Durk's father says Durk is getting bond. This marks his 3rd attempt, and his lawyers made an offer so strong, the judge might not refuse.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the 3rd time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't co-prosecutor, he wasn't co-defense, but he was co-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's going to be ruling in the next 2 days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue. Family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers. Thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Meaning they had to come together and snitch on Durk before he got out first. Prosecutors ended up dropping key evidence against Lil Durk, which led to him getting a release date. News outlets reported today Lil Durk's court hearing had prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly discarding evidence against Durk. As it was read out loud in court, it raises the question of how this will impact the rest of his bond hearing. The prosecutors did it in the most suspicious way, saying, "We are dropping the evidence of the Durk lyrics reading." They added, "We got an addy to go, got the location." Then they told the court to go check the news and see your son screaming no, while also showing the clip of Quando Rondo yelling no on the sidewalk.
Now the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Since this was such a corrupt and unfair way of dropping evidence, Lil Durk was right on the verge of receiving bond when they told the judge while reading it out loud that they were dropping it. This moment will stay in the back of the judge's mind before deciding on Durk's bond. It was handled so poorly that even Charleston White had to react.
This is a real big. Now that the big force was a dark force, it was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
The judge then announced in court that he'd need a few more days to make his decision. Lil Durk was sent back to jail, but this is where everything in his life would shift again. In case you missed it, the news reported Chicago rapper Lil Durk was involved in an altercation inside jail this morning. It's even led to Lil Baby tweeting, "I don't care about anything else but Durk right now. Free the bro streets connected." So what really happened? It started with a tweet saying Lil Durk's Day One homie Gleez had passed away last night in Chicago. This meant several F members were now being targeted, including Durk. The question is, who's looking for revenge on F? On that same day, Durk was attacked in jail. Quando Rondo and Lil Tim both did interviews, said the same message, and were released at the exact same hour. Some call it a strange coincidence. Others say it was to avoid Fed attention by building an alibi, while Durk was still locked up. As Lil Tim went on to say,
"No, like shit, I was just protecting my little brother."
When you did finally find out that it was King Von, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if bro and did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, yeah, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying can be like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That shit never happened.
As Quando Rondo echoed the same words, he said he wishes everything had been handled in a completely different way.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% know them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out. Or whatever, like they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Two of Lil Durk's ops doing interviews on the same day, praising Durk. And saying they wish things were handled differently while he's being targeted in jail doesn't seem suspicious at all. Because of this, Durk's lawyer ended up doing an interview with DJ Academics, speaking on the situation and also revealing his release date, while exposing how the prosecutors damaged their own case.
The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
As he continued, he explained the case is falling apart for the prosecutors, who can no longer use Durk's lyrics. Durk's lawyer even called the charges a joke. He revealed that the feds only had lyrics as evidence against Lil Durk, but now they're not even using that anymore.